We're already a minute over, and we're live. So, are you ready
Really?
for this? Yes, really. All right. So, I guess we can get this going. Um, and God, I really want to get a switcher. So, all right. So, hey, welcome to Constant Collectible. This is issue 5. Is our mission to collect the news and reviews in a world of geek culture. I'm Simon.
I'm Chad.
And we are both from constantcollectible.com. And this is the second live stream. Our first one didn't go so well several weeks ago because of audio issues, but let's try it again, shall we? Yeah.
Couldn't hear me whatsoever.
Let's hope they hear you now. All right. So
I'm
here's
not holding my breath.
now. Here's what I was trying to tell you before is that the question I have for you is, and there's a reason I'm asking this question, is how long do you give a show stop watching it?
Four
And I'm
episodes.
4? Okay.
Four.
What about
I
50? Go
not
ahead.
3 or 5. 4. The reason I do 4 is because typically, the first episode can be a little bit of background, or it jumps into the full action or the full scenery, whatever the story is going with.
Okay.
And sometimes episode 2 and 3 can be a little backstory. So in my opinion, by episode 4, you should have the full experience. You should know what's going on, and you should know by then whether you like it or not.
Okay. All right. Well, there's a reason I asked this. All right, because and typically we would talk about what we're watching later on towards the end of the show, but this week I gave 2 shows just to kind of see what they were like. One of them was Dirt Gently over on BBC America. I was able to watch that through the AMC app on my Apple TV. Interesting.
Why does this sound
Uh,
like NC-17 or Double X?
no,
Triple
it's
X, sorry.
no. It's not at all. He's a character who was created by oh my gosh, what's his name? Guardians. Oh my gosh, I can't even talk. Uh,
Guardians of the Galaxy.
yeah, no, not Guardians of the Galaxy. Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Adams.
Yes, thank you. Same guy created this character. So I thought, I'll give it a shot. Shark sent me a text. He said he watched it. He said he was kind of interested in it. So I think I need to give that a couple of episodes. The character himself, not even Dirt Gently. The character I would present him more would be someone like Stephen Fry, the comedian. And he kind of looks more like the character that's built up, not this new version. The other reason that I gave it a look is Elijah Wood's in it, and
Okay.
let's see, there was another reason I did too because Max Landis is the writer, like
Oh.
his stuff. So I thought I'd give it a try and see what it's like, but I don't know, it's a little off. It's an updated version. There's points where it feels like Adams, but it feels more like a Max Landis. And so I don't know how I feel about that. So I was just kind of curious on how many you give, because the other show that I tried to watch, I gave it 15 minutes.
Really?
But I
That
was
bad?
done.
Wow.
Well, it wasn't my humor. I mean, a lot of people were talking about how great it is, and so I thought, you know what, I'll give it a try. So, with doing the whole HBO thing, I tried Vice Principals, and it's 15
Oh,
minutes.
okay.
And it was constant yelling back and forth with slurs this and slurs that, and I'm like, God, this just isn't my humor. I'm just not into it. So that's why I was kind of curious on
Yeah, that
how.
was with the heavyset guy from Tropic Thunder, I think it was. Um, he was the
I know he
explosives
did.
guy.
I know he did Down and Out.
Down and Out. That was the other series he did. Yeah.
Yes. And then the
I
other
think the
guy,
whole wasn't the whole premise behind that that they were vying for the head principal job or something.
yes, Bill Murray plays the principal who is stepping
Right.
away because his wife is dying of cancer. And I thought, okay, this could be interesting because they're fighting over who's going to be it. But they were just kind of over the top. And I get it. Some comedies are like that. It just wasn't my style. And I couldn't get past 15 minutes because I was just tired of them yelling at each other, flipping each other off, and, calling each other names. I'm like, okay, where's the story? So I moved on. So I was just kind of curious on how long you give it. I mean, typically I will give it 4 or 5 episodes because, like you said, it's going to build. You got to find some characters, um, and see what happens with it. So
Yeah, but there's there are those shows that you start watching, you kind of going, yeah, I'm
yeah,
done.
yeah,
So,
yeah. Yet I
but
punished
I kind
myself.
of I pulled up that Dirk Gently's right here, and okay, yeah, so it's a holistic detective agency.
Yes, and don't
Interesting.
forget, there's also a holistic assassin. I mean,
Hmm.
when the way they talk and the way they do things, that's where you start to feel the atoms, how these characters react. I mean, if you've read and seen Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, which if you didn't realize, there is a Baggins, a Lord of the Rings connection between shows. You have Frodo in one, and you have Bilbo in the other. So it's kind of funny.
Yeah,
So,
and the book, of course, was nothing like the movie. So.
well, of
Or I
course,
should say books.
books,
Yeah.
multiples.
And in my
Yeah,
opinion, the last book sucked.
it happens. You can have an opinion. I'll let you.
Of course. All right, fine, thank you.
No problem. But anyways, let So I was just kind of curious on how you feel about shows, because I mean, last time I punished myself, Supergirl,
Okay. I haven't
and
watched any of it.
and we talked before on an earlier issue, and I'm like, I don't know why I did that, because I haven't touched it at all, and I hear it's even better. So, but I heard it got better last season, so I'm like, okay, I'll keep watching, and it didn't. So, but anyways, I was just kind of curious on that, on what you thought. So, but let's jump into the topics of the day. So, our first topic, which was kind of cool, I came across this a couple of days ago, and IDW and Dark Horse Comics are going to be doing a crossover with two of their in-house franchises. And I've seen crossovers with IDW with like DC Comics and some other comics, but these that they're bringing together, I think, is going to be fascinating. Now, the the name of this series is going to be Acceptable Losses. That's going to be the name of it. Bringing together Star Trek: The Next Generation and Aliens. So I feel really bad for the red shirts because acceptable losses.
Yeah, and I'm thinking blue as well, maybe science officers, or I don't know. But yeah, I'm not on board, so I'll let you go ahead and try and talk people into it. I'm not on board.
No, why not?
As it is, you know me. I'm not a huge
Hmm.
Trekkie. I do like the films. I do, I thought some of the old series was pretty cool. A couple of, the re-franchised ones, were kind of cool, but this and I don't see how the two can come together, to be honest. But I mean, it's a fantasy world nonetheless,
Yes.
and that's fine. But when you put not predators, but aliens with Star Trek, number one, the aliens have to get on the Starship Enterprise, which means they're probably brought on board somehow.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, I see aliens winning this.
Yeah, I know, kind of scary, right? But
Set your
okay,
phasers to stun.
I mean, once Dark Horse sends us some information, we'll have some more on it. But when I saw this announcement, I thought, okay, this is interesting because IDW has the Star Trek franchise and Dark Horse has the Aliens franchise. And when Dark Horse sends us some information on this, we'll be able to kind of dive into it a little bit more. But looking at before, I mean, IDW taken their Star Trek franchise and they have jumped into the DC universe with the Green Lantern Corps.
Right.
They have they've done Planet of the Apes, and now they're doing Aliens. So I'm kind of curious on where this one goes. I haven't read any of those other ones because I too am not a huge Trekkie. Sounded kind of interesting to me.
Well, they
So,
also did the New Generation crossover with Doctor Who.
oh yes, exactly, they did. That's right. I forgot that one.
Was that the Assimilation 2 or something?
Something like that, yeah, if I remember correctly. But here's what it says. Okay, so the book will be written by Scott and David Timpton, with J.K. Woodward on art duties. The team is well versed in Star Trek crossovers. As back in 2012, they're the ones who did Assimilation 2. Okay, so they haven't. Let's see. The creative team hasn't announced how the Starship Enterprise ends up in the Xenomorph territory, or if they exist in the same world. But hopefully, we'll know more soon. Which is, as soon as we get information from Dark Horse, we'll let you guys know. It'll be on our site over at constantcollectible.com. So I don't know. I'm just a little intrigued about this one. I think it could be kind of interesting. I just hope that they're not, I don't know. I just hope they don't dumb it down. I
Right.
hope it gets, because read any of the Star Trek stuff from the IDW, but I have read some of the Alien stuff from Dark Horse, and it is dark. It is within that universe, and it's kind of
Oh, okay.
creepy. So I'm kind of looking forward to that dark grittiness that hopefully that these guys can bring out. So I think it'd
Well, I
be
think
kind of cool.
if they do it that way, then I might be on board. But if they kind of dumb it down, make it super corny, something like when you were kids, you used to be able to walk into like a drugstore and you see those comics on a rack,
Hmm.
the real cheap ones.
Yeah,
It kind of reminded me of that. That's what hit my head, initially. So I was kind of like, well, we'll see.
yeah, we will
But
see.
yeah, if they keep it dark like they probably should, then I might give it a shot.
Yeah, and I think too, once we get our hands on a review copy, I think I'll definitely do a review, and we'll get that up there so we can kind of talk about it a little bit more, and we'll see if anybody, if we recommend it to anybody, if it's worth a read.
Right. So,
Lost my
all right.
notes.
Well, I have mine. Haha.
Yes, you do.
So next up, we have on the big screen. There's a new movie coming out called Life, starring Ryan Reynolds and Jake Gyllenhaal.
All
Maybe
right, the
Brokeback Mountain
Joker
2.
and Deadpool.
Ooh, I didn't think about that.
Yep. DC and Marvel
You know,
getting together, right? No.
ooh, yeah. So when you watch the trailer, it's kind of I don't know. My first impression was that it was a Gravity, Aliens meets The Martian.
Yeah,
Looks like there could be some comedy to it. There's obviously an alien, some sort of,
whatever that was.
yeah, the little,
Yeah, a little
look like some kind of
fluid.
little, yeah. I don't want to say what it would look like, but and of course, the whole gravity issue too. All the stuff in space. So
Hmm.
um, it has a good cast. Rebecca Ferguson's also in it. Yeah, so it's basically they discover some sort of life form and chaos kind of ensues. And when you read other people's possible reviews, not possible, but reviews online, what they think it might be, they kind of joke about Reynolds and Gyllenhaal being in the same movie, being able to play off each other's interstellar. It's like an interstellar hunk off, in space. No one can hear you. Be dreamy.
Oh, that's so bad.
What? Yeah. So this could go one of two ways. This
Mm.
could be either terribly wrong and just horrible,
Hmm.
or it could be exceptionally good.
Yeah,
So
that sounds kind of sketchy.
yeah, so I mean, I like the cast. The premise is kind of iffy on me. It seems a bit redundant on what people have done in the past.
Okay.
But I don't know. I'm willing to give it a shot. So I mean, it's Jake Gyllenhaal and Ryan Reynolds. I mean, it could be
Okay,
Brokeback
so
Mountain
let's
too.
see. Okay, so it's written by Rhett Reese.
Right.
Rhett Reese is a writer and producer known for Deadpool and Zombieland.
Right.
So that actually I'm okay with because those two movies were pretty good and they were funny. So,
Right.
and then let's see, the other writer is Okay, so these guys work together. So Paul
Right.
Wernick and um, director Daniel Espinosa, and he is known for just looking at here. He's known for Safe House,
Dun, dun,
Child
dun.
44, Easy Money. So he's known for kind of that gangster, shoot 'em up kind of thing. So there's going to be some action in it. So okay,
Yeah,
I'm
the
interested.
preview does show a lot of action in it, which is kind of cool. I think
Yeah.
that's what might draw the people in to it. Not only
Okay.
that, but with the actual cast itself.
Yeah. So I'm curious to see another preview. This one kind of gave you a sneak peek into this world, which made it feel like those movies. But I'm waiting to see something that makes it feel like its own,
Right.
set apart. So we'll see. I mean, it looks interesting. I don't know if I'll
Could
run to
be.
the theater to see it, but we'll see.
Yeah, could be. We'll see.
We'll see.
So, next up on the big screen, we also have the Predator, an update.
Hmm.
Um, the biggest update here, and I just wanted to mention this real quick because we did talk about it last week. The it's getting a little weird because
Uh,
now the plot details are kind of coming out, and basically this is being held in suburbia.
oh, great.
Yeah, which is kind of weird because we've had jungles, concrete jungles, we've
Mhm.
had frozen wastelands, we've had an alien planet. Now we come to
The
typical
Burbs.
suburbia. Yeah, so another good movie there, Burbs.
Oh yeah.
Olivia Munn has joined the cast. Pretty cool. I like her acting. But it's going to be set present day, which will be 2018 when it comes out. Um,
Okay.
and the new release date actually changed. It was March, now it's February 9th,
So it got
2018.
so it got bumped up a
Yeah.
month. I wonder what it was competing against.
I don't know. I
Hmm.
didn't look that one up.
Yeah, I would have to try and figure that out myself too. But I'm wondering if that's why the move on the change. So, okay, now do you remember for the last Predator movie, Predators? Do you remember what
Right.
year that was set in?
That was supposed to be, current, but what they did is they rounded up all these special forces, commandos,
Okay.
um, the serial killer
Oh
up
yeah,
on Earth. They just kind of all they remember is a white light. It's like they flashed them, and then
that's
they
right.
next thing they know they're dropping from out, from high altitudes.
Okay. I'm just kind of curious. I think, depending on when that was, whether this one is before or after that one. I'm just kind of it would just kind of be neat if, like, let's say this one actually happens before Predators, because everybody kind of tweaks their movies. I think it would be hilarious to get an Adrian Brody cameo,
Oh yeah,
something like that. I think that would be kind of funny.
I think it's going to be set sometime after that.
Hmm.
This is supposed to be it's a reboot, but it's a sequel. They're
Yeah.
trying to get it, this restarted from the original Predator, and it's supposed to be a 30-year sequel. So it's I'm excited for it. I like the director. I like the fact that he's going to keep an R rating. So
Yeah. Hmm. So we got Shane Black running the show. We have Olivia Munn. Who else? It was I can't remember the guy's name that they picked up to play the lead. But yeah, I mean,
Boyd Holbrook.
thank you, thank you. Who's in the new Wolverine movie coming up?
Yeah,
That's I could think of it for a second there.
and
So
I did
no, we'll
print a
see.
little picture. So, rawr.
Man, your high school picture is fabulous.
Isn't it really?
Yes, yeah, I love that senior picture of yours.
Yeah, pluck the eyebrows real quick.
So, all right, okay. So here's the other one. Okay, so we're gonna stay on the big screen, but today the Wonder Woman trailer dropped.
Yeah,
Please don't suck, because it looks so good.
it does. It looks really good.
Yeah,
I was a little blown away by myself. You know, I was like, wow, it looks really good. I mean, I watched it about 3 or 4 times. So I like it. I'm definitely gonna go see it.
I will
Um,
too.
yeah, this looks really good. I think she's gonna be good.
I think, well, she was my favorite part of the Batman Superman.
I think a lot of people said that.
She was my favorite part. There was just something about her that I don't know if it's because she's finally on the big screen, or if it was just her acting, or if it was just the dialogue that they had written for her was better than the other two. Um, just I wanted more, and knowing now that we're actually going to get that, we've seen this is what the second or third preview, because we've had small little
I think this
treats.
is the second, isn't it?
Big one, yeah.
Okay.
What I like about it too is we get to see her in the past. This is her origin story, and how she gets with Steve Trevor, what her role is, and man, it just looks good. And here we are in World War One, and just I don't know, just that part when she tells those soldiers what she's here to do, and just crawls out of the trench. The soldier shoots and she blocks it with her guards, and from there, and you're just like, oh my gosh, this is awesome. I definitely
Looks
want more.
good.
It does look good. I mean, just the intro, and I'm wondering if can we do this.
Don't mess it up.
I mean, I'm sorry, but I mean, it just looks beautiful. Yeah, I'm so looking forward to this. You know, the more and more we see of this thing, I cannot wait. It's beautiful. Right. So, Wonder Woman. What's the date on that? Do you remember?
I do not.
Let me look real quick. Wonder Woman. I just hope she does the little turning in circles like the old 70s TV show. No? Not so much?
Yeah, kind of like that. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Oh man. Yeah, no, that looks good. I hope they don't mess it up. We'll just put some notes in the comment section below. And the next thing we want to talk about is your recent adventure that I was supposed to be at, but things happen.
There
I
you
know.
go. There you go.
I know. There were several factors that happened, and it was kind of a good thing that I didn't, but I was kind of bummed. So
Yeah, that was Stanley's LA Comic Con this past weekend, which I believe you just posted up on the website. And I saw the press release. It was what, 91,000
yep,
attendees?
91,000
Um,
people attended to this one. That's a huge growth from where it started.
right. Yeah, And it's funny because they were really pumping out the press releases to us. I mean, I think I was getting something every couple of days. Hey,
Mhm.
this is what's going on. This is what's going on in this booth. Hey, you want to talk to this guy? Hey, you want to talk to this chick? You want to talk to this person? You want to go to this panel? You want to go to that panel? And it's like, oh my gosh, no, no, no. Oh yeah, I want to see that. No, no, no. Yeah, I want to see that. So it was very interesting. It was a blast. I was there Friday and Saturday, both days, all day. Um, pardon me, I'm like, recovering from a cold. Um,
Con
had
crud.
a had a great time Friday. There were no panels on Friday. It was there's a lot less people there on
Hmm.
Friday, so it made navigating through the booths a lot easier. You got to talk to a lot more people. Ran into some people I've run into at other cons. Tony Fleece, of course, which we did an interview with Tony. It's on a website. Go to constantcollectible.com and see that. Great guy. Um, he has also volunteered to come on the show with us to do a little show. Go check out his artwork. I highly recommend it. He hooked it up this weekend with some great artwork, as well as some other guys. But of note, some not only artists but some booths I thought that we should mention, and I thought were due some serious respect were some of these guys.
Okay.
And so we have the Evil Ted.
Evil Ted is awesome. If you've seen his YouTube stuff and the things he makes, holy cow! I didn't know
Yeah.
you got to go over to. Oh, that's
Oh
awesome.
yeah, dude, it was great. He auctioned off a full helmet. Not auctioned off, but he did a raffle
Okay.
for a full helmet. I didn't win it. Bum deal.
Yeah, because if you did, you'd be wearing it right now.
I would be actually. I would have
Yeah.
worn that to work all week.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to put the link to his YouTube channel because he does some really cool stuff.
Yeah. Great guy. Very friendly. Great to talk to. And I actually talked to him about doing some email correspondence so that we could do an article about him.
Oh,
Um,
yes.
the next one was actually a lady named Christy Shin. I'll put that up there like that. She had some really cool art. Not only art, but she did some books. Kind of not really graphic novels, but pardon me. They were very emotionally based, and so when you read her stuff, it really brought you back to, hey, I know this because like one of her books was it described different types of people, and so what she did was that she used her emotions and her experiences of life to describe different people, the soul sucker of your life, the needy person, and she would draw these people out, and as you're looking at it, you're kind of going, yeah, I know a person like that. Yeah, I know a person like that. Oh, yeah, I know a person really like that, which I'm not going to name names. But that was really cool, and her artwork was pretty cool. I liked it. It was simplistic but original. Um, one that I think is deserving because we are actually going to do an article about is this.
Yes, these guys are awesome.
Yes, this little robot is unreal. They have two versions of this robot. One's a smaller, one's a little bigger than the other, but they're programmable and they're easy to program. And that's their huge ploy is that look, we teach you programming. They're huge into schools right now. They have
Yes,
several
yeah.
universities. They have
Yeah.
elementary schools, middle schools, high schools. And of course, they're getting into the Marvel Cinematic Universe by putting these little toppers on them so that these things can kind of run around and they actually say things.
Oh, cool.
So, yeah, look for a future article about this company. That's, what do you call it? Ozobot?
I think believe so. Now you got to play with them, right?
Yeah. And it's actually pretty cool because you play with them on either your iPhone, iPad, or whatever touchscreen device. And so when
Okay.
you move your finger on it, they kind of follow the same direction. Or the very simplest version of it is that you put it on a line and it'll follow a line, like a little track, and it'll just keep going. So it's actually really neat.
Oh, I like that. Yeah, I've seen, the school that I work at, the tech guy has brought in quite a few of these, not only into his classroom, but he allows other classrooms to use them for projects. One thing I thought was really neat is that the fifth graders, they had to do a world map. Use that device to take you on a trip through the world, and then it explained when it landed here. It kind of gave you a brief information. I mean, these guys, they were killing it with this thing, and I'm like, man, these are really cool. So when I saw that these guys were there, you got to check these guys out because there's some pretty neat stuff, and I'm glad you got your hands to play, hands on with that.
Yeah, it's really neat, and they were really friendly. We talked to Morgan Anderson, really sweet lady. She really dived into it and just telling us all kinds of stuff. She's one of their marketing project managers.
Okay.
So some other cool stuff. There were some writers there. There was a project, actually a series of books called the Ronin Project.
Okay.
This guy who has, I think it was I think 2 books out so far. He looked like he was low 20s.
Okay.
And these books were like, an inch and a half thick, and we're kind of looking and going, wow, we're pretty impressed. And here's actually the cover art to one of them. So it's kind of cool.
It's like a dragon. So, okay, I got you.
Yeah, so we have a dragon flying over a guy who has like a flame sword who is kind of funny enough standing in a flow of lava.
Yeah, and what's his name?
This is the Ronin saga, and his name is
Mm-hmm.
Matthew Wolf.
Matthew Wolf.
Yeah, so that's the gist of it. But the last thing I'd like to mention, and you and I have talked about this this place in Riverside, and it's called the Vocademy, the marketplace. It's a place where you learn real world hands-on skills. And what they do is they have 3D printing, laser engraving, electronic and robots, machine shop, welding and fabrication. They have a wood shop. They have sewing and textiles, plastics, costumes, prop making, crafts, hobbies, all kinds of stuff. And what you do is you kind of rent a space when you go in. They're located over here in Riverside, California. Pretty cool little flyer here. Really neat people. I know one of the guys who actually teaches welding there, like a couple times a month. And so, yeah, I'm actually gonna head by, I think next week, to take some pictures.
Okay.
So we can, do a quick article. I think it's pretty deserving to show these guys what they're doing. It's actually really neat. So,
that's pretty.
And they're
cool.
open, 7 days a week, 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. So, and they say they get a lot of cosplayers that come in and start building their stuff there.
That's what I was wondering, and that actually I'd be really intrigued in too. Is the cosplay aspect? Because I mean, cosplay itself is just growing like crazy. Just on the new that the Denver Comic Con is having when it comes to cosplay. So each convention has their own set of rules and concerns. With Denver, some of their concerns is the more risque, the more not so family friendly, and the reason being is because they are also tied in with pop culture classrooms, so they're tied into education. So they're trying to get families and he's hanging out, all that kind of stuff. So I'd be interested to see what it is that some of these guys' costumes, because there's so much content to make. I would love to be able to do a couple of different things. I just haven't had the time to do it yet.
Right.
But eventually I will. So maybe
and
we'll have to
remember,
talk
everyone,
to Ted.
we have to remember, cosplay is not consent.
not consent. That is absolutely correct. So, but dive more into maybe some of this cosplay, in talking with Evil Ted, and
Yeah.
the tips and stuff that he shows. Seen and I've learned from him just by watching his YouTube video, watching when he has gone over and been on Tested with Adam Savage, and just some of the things that he has taught people on how to do, just taking regular foam and creating. I would be really interested to see this makerspace and what they allow these guys to do and what they're doing. I'm intrigued by that.
Yeah, it should be pretty cool. I'm gonna go by, like I said, next week. Check it out. Take some pictures.
That'd be cool. That'd be cool. I'd like that. All right. This next one, day on Twitter, didn't it?
Oh, the TV time?
Yes.
Yeah, ABC broke this today on their Twitter, saying that a new preview for Rogue One would take place November 24th, and you'd have to watch The Wonderful World of Disney Magical Holiday Celebration TV special.
Yes.
Like I said, and that airs November 24th at 8 p.m. Eastern. Yeah, and they said it's an exclusive look of something we have not seen yet. So, okay. Hopefully it is something we haven't seen yet. And of course, Rogue One comes out December 16th. So it's airing, less than a month before Rogue One comes out. But there's no word on what the exclusive look is going to be. Your guess is as good as mine. It might be, a first look of like how we made the movie. It may be some kind of details on a specific character. So,
yeah, it's funny because I've two things that kind of bounced at me when I first looked at this, but I'll address what you were thinking, the speculation. I kind of have a feeling it's going to be like they did for episode 7, where they do have that little documentary that they created that they released at Celebration.
Yeah.
I kind of have a feeling it's going to be something like that. But I when I first saw this, when you had posted it, all of a sudden I went, wait, a holiday special? Oh no. And then I went, oh no, it's not a Star Wars holiday special. It's just a Disney holiday special. I was like, no, please don't. We don't need Chewbacca to take us back to his home planet, or, we're going to have some new character take us back. So yeah, that's what first popped into my head. I think it'll be like a little documentary.
I think,
creatures.
I think we'll probably only see something, a few minutes long, if that.
Yeah, exactly. It's that teaser. That's all it is. It's going to be a teaser for a teaser, but the nice thing is that then we don't have much time to wait for the film to actually hit the big screen,
right?
Because I'm sure we're all anxious for that. Now, it's kind of interesting too. I was kind of thinking this earlier today, since we're on the Star Wars kick, we got, last year we got episode 7. This year we're getting Rogue. Same time frame. The following year we're getting. Let's see. Wait, no, we get. No, yeah, no.
Episode 8.
Episode 8. Thank you. And then after that, we only have to wait a couple of months, and then we get the Solo film. We don't have to wait till December.
Right.
Which is kind of nice. Kind of looking forward to it. We still don't know. We talked about it last week. Well, with the casting of Donald Glover. They're going to release.
What?
Yes, exactly. Yeah, Predator. Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Too old for this shit. But they were talking about it. They say that they're going to release one a year, but do you think they're going to hold to that, or do you think they'll deviate and do what Marvel does? Marvel tries to give us at least 2 a year. You got one the beginning, towards the beginning, and one towards the end.
I don't think they'll deviate from it. I think they'll do just that. I think they'll stay to one a year.
Okay, so then now here's my next question. Then, if we stay one a year, are we gonna we're gonna flip flop between the end of the year and the beginning of the year?
That's a good question.
You know, so like let's say we've got episode 8, and then we know we're gonna get episode 9. So we're gonna see episode 9 the following year, but it's gonna be at Christmas again,
I think so.
which makes it a really long break. So I don't know. I'm interesting. I can't wait. I just want more. So
Well, what this also poses too is an interesting question: is what is D23 going to be like next year?
yes, yeah, which is in August, which is that we will be putting in our press passes for that. We know for sure that Hannah will be there. Um, she actually has a ticket
Right.
to go. We are putting in for our press passes, so we're hoping to go to get and figure out what's going on. So once we have that, but yeah, that's actually a very good question. What is D23 going to look like? What tidbits are they going to give us?
Because you're going to have this in August, and then in December, you're going to have episode 8, and the following year, less than a year, you're going to have the new,
Yeah,
Han Solo standalone movie.
yeah.
So, are they going to show something for both movies? Are they going to showcase for both movies, or are they just going to concentrate on one? I'm kind of hoping they'll showcase for both.
I have a feeling they'll showcase for both, because if you think about Disney has, pulled out, Marvel has mostly pulled out of San Diego Comic-Con, which is just a month prior to that. So I think that they want to really kind of boost their numbers, and the exclusivity of Disney doing that, I think, is probably a good move on their part.
Yeah, it should
So
be very interesting. I mean, I'm kind of looking forward to it.
yeah, so hopefully, we get our stuff in, and, we can be there and let everybody know what's going on once we find out what's going on.
Yep.
All right, so those are our topics of the day. You can find more like this over on our website, constantcollectible.com. We typically are posting several articles, new releases of comics, book reviews, movie trailers, and just convention news, all kinds of things. So come by and check us out. But before we like to go, we kind of like to talk about what it is that we've been watching. So, Chad, what's on your boob tube?
Go ahead and start to laugh. I don't care.
You're still doing it.
I am. I'm still watching The Voice.
Okay. You
Yeah,
haven't lost your voice yet.
I'm starting to right now. I'm sucking down all this throat coat tea right now. But yeah, I'm still watching The Voice. Go ahead, whatever. Still hooked on Star Wars Rebels. And there was not an episode this past weekend, as we told you last week, because it was Halloween weekend.
Yeah.
Still watching Conviction with Haley Otwell. It did kind of die down a little bit, but it seems to be picking back up, a little kind of perking back up, you could say.
Okay.
Of course, Westworld, which
Yes.
we'll talk about in a few minutes.
A little later.
A little later.
A few minutes. Yep. In our spoil it.
Which did you see my comment on that? Oh my god! Yeah, brilliant TV show. And then of course I'm watching Impractical Jokers. It's great for a good good comedy,
Laugh.
good laugh. And then I'm catching up. Well, I haven't started yet, but tomorrow I plan on catching up on Agents of Shield and Gotham.
Okay. Agents of Shield. You know what? How many episodes are in Agents of Shield right now?
Per season?
Yeah.
I think it's 11.
Is it? Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, I have been watching The Flash. I've been watching Arrow. I have not been watching the other two shows. I think when it comes to DC, I think they're asking a lot of you to tune in pretty much every night to watch one of their programs. There's a lot of good content out there to watch, and Flash and Arrow, they're doing okay. They've been better. On top of that, I'm just like you. I'm doing Star Wars Rebels, which we try and also talk about in our Spoil It, Westworld, which we will be talking about here soon. Um, I watched the second episode of The Walking Dead, and we were introduced to Ezekiel, the man with the tiger, which was kind of cool. And you knew who he was and what he was by the end of the episode. And then I had mentioned earlier, I had watched the first episode of Dirk Gently. I may or may not continue. I don't know. Like I said, there's a lot of good content out there, and I don't know if I have space for it, but we'll see. That I tried, just because I had spoke about this last week, is I went over to Fox and I watched the first couple of episodes of The Exorcist. Okay,
How was that?
I'm liking it. In the third, because I've only seen I think 3 episodes, and I don't remember if it was the second episode or the third episode. It was really cool, but they gave a nod to the original film by talking when they showed some clips of newspaper, and they showed the stairs that lead down in Georgetown, and
Right.
then
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
it had briefly talked about a possession that happened there with this family, blah blah blah. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that's awesome. So it is in that world. It's more of a spin-off. You have a rogue priest who basically, the way he became what he is through his childhood. I'm intrigued. I want to see more. Let's see who was in this, because I made that joke. What's his name from Ferris Bueller is in it. Like, I can't remember his name. But then also Gina Davis is in it, and I'm gonna watch a little bit more. This is a show that I kind of want to see where it goes. The other thing that I did, because sometimes on my lunch, and instead of sitting there staring at a wall, I'll kind of watch a show on my iPad or something, and I had to watch the first episode of season 2 of Netflix's Marco Polo. First season I enjoyed. This episode, I don't know. I'm probably going to give it up. So with it and just say, I watched the first season. That's good enough for me. So that's kind of what I've been watching. What I'm reading is just school stuff. So, and studying. So nothing fun, nothing that I want to read, and stuff that I have to read. So, but it's speaking of, earlier we're talking about how many episodes that you give a show, and here we're talking about Netflix, and I know you stream Netflix, I stream Netflix, a lot of families do. They give you that ability to like a show. I really wish that they either changed it to where you could like a season, or you could like an episode or something like that, because you can have a show that you're just like, you watch the first season and you're like, oh my gosh, that was so amazing, right? And then you watch the second season and you're like, that was okay. But you really still, you want to rate it fairly, and at first when you finished it, you just gave it all 5 stars. You watch the next season, you go, well, it wasn't that great. Maybe I should lower my stars. I wish they would just say, okay, for this season, what did you think? For that season, what did you think? I think that would be kind of a cool little feature that they could throw in. Or episodes, because you get some crap episodes in a great season.
This is true.
Really like this
is
one.
true.
Yeah, so I mean, I think it would be kind of cool if they threw that in there. I mean, just saying. So, But anyways, that's kind of where we are. Anything else you kind of want to add?
I do not.
No, not reading anything fantastic, entertaining?
No, concentrating on studies as well.
Okay, check us out, little schoolboys. All right. Well, this has been issue 5 of Constant Collectible. I'm Simon. You can find me at C_collectible at Twitter. You can find our articles at constantcollectible.com. You can find us over at Instagram and many of the social media platforms. Chad, where can they find you?
You can also find me on Twitter at ChadGriffin12, on Instagram at DJ Kilt, and of course over at ConstantCollectible.com with a couple different big headers: Goodies Guide to the Galaxy and Goodies Publication Audit.
Yes, yes, which you should check them out. Absolutely. So that's going to do it for this issue. We're going to take a quick break, and then we're probably going to come back on live, and we're going to do a little spoil it, and we're going to talk about Westworld and who knows what else. So thanks for watching. Have a good one, and we'll see you guys around.